They didn't plan for that, so they need to put the money. Currently, Tinubu is asking, or is offering 62,000 naira minimum wage, $28. The labor force is asking for 250,000 naira minimum wage, which is just about $180. He hasn't told them what actually comes up to asking for 3.2 trillion. I mean, sorry, about 6 point or so trillion to be amended into 2024 budget that will now take it to 34.9 trillion naira. Remember, that will then make it sort of this. The 2023 budget of 22 trillion is running. The supplementary budget of 2023, 2.1 trillion is running. They've drawn money on all of them. They have drawn money on all of these budgets. Now, 2024 budget that is about to be amended is 28.7 trillion. It will now be extended to 34.9 trillion. How much is that? 6.2 trillion. Meanwhile, before this amendment, Tinubu already submitted about 9 trillion naira supplementary budget 2024 for Senate approval. So with this amendment, the 2024 budget will now be a total of 34.9 trillion plus 9.5 or so trillion supplementary in 2024 alone for budgets. Now, if you have a chance of asking any of them, because the last time there was this fisticuff, shouting match between the members of House of Representatives investigating all of this money, especially in the Ministry of Women Affairs. Now, I have this extended video from the channel's television, which the credit goes to them. Here is a woman, a minister for Women Affairs in Nigeria, talking about all this money, just partly in our own ministry alone.
Jeff, how are you today?
Well, very well. And so let's get straight to business. Let's begin with some of the big elephants in the room. I know that, as I said last week, you were all over the news because of that face-off that happened between you and lawmakers. In fact, some people were lost in all of that. People are not sure what the argument was because there were allegations, she misappropriated 1.5 billion naira. She can't account for this money or that money. So maybe this is a first opportunity for you to be able to clear the air. So what was really going on that escalated to the point of argument? What was the question that was asked that escalated things to that point? And we'll begin to break it down to other things around your ministry.
Thank you, Jeff. Let me start by saying that last year's budget was not done while I was there. Most of the all the contracts they were talking about were not awarded while I was there. Most of them were awarded in March. The money for those contracts were released in May, and I came in August. When I came in, I heard about the contracts. I checked some of them. A lot of them have not done it till date. Only about 4 files were cleared. And not only that, the ministry had a lot of liabilities too, due to underfundedness. They had a lot of liabilities. So by the October time, they brought in the 1.5 billion while I was there. They used it to start clearing their backlogs, and I was able to convince them, because if you check, in 100 days, we were supposed to give account of what we have done. The president said if you didn't, he was going to sack the person. So I had to get them to award some contracts that will go in line with the president's renewed hope agenda, which was empowerment on women. And even on those contracts, they've only paid 30% till date. So those other people that didn't do the contract, they are part of the people claiming that their monies were not paid. And again, they mentioned about 45 million that it was used for a party. Like I said, I was not there when those budgets were made. That party was done. Even the chairman of Women Affairs came there. The same woman, Honorable Kafilat, she was there. And the party they did, they invited about 33 schools. Thousands of children were there. And before then, they said they did sensitization. They went to schools. They would give transport to every school that is coming. They gave them school bags that worth about 15,000 each. That was their way of handling things before I came. And everybody will attest to the fact that I have never liked the old ways. I have always started fights for new narratives since I came in. And this was partly one of the things I never would tolerate as a minister. But that one, my hands were tied. Those were the plans before I came. So now, if for any reason there is any program, it has been announced, even in this 2024 budget, nobody has right to do program without empowerment. You don't do program. But those students were given bags worth 15,000 with a lot of other things inside the bags. And they were equally given food. They were given transport per school. About 33 schools that were mentioned but few. Model Junior Secondary School, Meitama. Government Secondary School, Area 10. School for the Blind. Abuja School for the Blind, Kuje. Pilot Secondary School, Wuse. And on, which I can leave here while I'm going. And that was how the 45 million was spent. And they did a whole lot of other things, going from school to school for sensitization. It is not something that was used once. It was something that is meant for these schools and for the children. Then the issue of 20 million for sanitary pad. Before I came, like I said, they were giving sanitary pad. I did not accept it. But that particular budget had been made. And they went to the whole 6 geopolitical zones. They went to Plateau, Kwara, Jigawa, Zamfara, Borno, Adamawa, Enugu, Imo, Bayelsa, Edo, Ekiti, Ogun, and Oyo. The flag off by the former minister, by the former PAMSEC, while I was not there, was in Oyo State. And these were the places they visited secondary schools, girls' secondary schools, and distributed sanitary pads. A few that were there before I came, when those girls were kidnapped, or if any girl is having issues, or those that have 6 babies, I go like with a carton or 2 to go and give them. I'm sure that a few are still remaining in the office. So if you check the amount, as at this last year they are selling sanitary pad, 20 million for 6 geopolitical zones of how many states? Couldn't even go anywhere. But I don't support giving out sanitary pad. What I introduce is putting skill acquisition with a sanitary pad making machine, so that these children will learn how to make it. And while they are teaching them,
Minister, if I may button,
sanitary pads for them.
If I may button, for the purpose of Nigerians, so let's pause this correctly. So you're saying that all of these monies that the lawmakers were asking you about was not expended by you. You came and met it. Is that what you're saying?
No, the budget was not done by me. So there was no way I could have stopped the process of the budget. It was not done by me. It was done before I came.
I understand that.
2023 budget. I came at the tail end of 2023 budget. But I still followed up how they were going to spend the money. And they called all these schools. They gave them money per one to bring those children to school with their buses for fuel money. And they gave them bags. Those bags, I priced it as at then. It was 15,000 each. And they gave to thousands of them. Thousands of the students went home with bags. They gave them even sanitary pads that day too, to the grown-up ones in SS classes. The chairman of Women Affairs...
My apology. We may not have all the time to give you a full breakdown, but so were you able to explain to the committee about the 1.5 billion that they were talking about in this particular contest? Because I know they raised the issue of even 1.5 million now for fueling of car, and they were asking you, is it just round trip the country or a particular location? Maybe you have to clear the air on some of these things.
And when I explained it to them, one of them told them it wasn't even much. How many vehicles? I traveled with the staff, the bus, the security, 2 security vehicles, one DSS and one police, and my vehicle, the backup, and the other one. About 6 vehicles went all the way to Anambra State for a job. And we came back. What is 1-point-something million for those cars? Everybody knows how much fuel costs since I came in. So when I even was explaining, moreover, they won't even give you a chance to explain. They'll just tell you, say yes or no. How can I say yes or no without explanation? So I have explained on the issue of the 20 million. I've explained the issue of the 45 million. 33 schools, thousands of students were given bags. I'm sure as I'm saying this, you are showing the video where those bags, and even gifts. They gave bags, they gave gifts, they gave lunch, they fueled their vehicles, and they still gave them logistics to come for that party. And it used to be the routine of Women Affairs. It's just now, and I changed everything. I don't want programs. Programs cannot change the lives of Nigerians. I want more impactful movement, and which the directors are cooperating with me. That was what led to the giving out of empowerment machines, heavy empowerment economic machines, to 16 states, including FCT. I equally gave keke. Some of these things, they said, you went and bought keke. I did not use the money. I never applied through Ministry of Women Affairs. There is no money in Federal Ministry of Women Affairs. Most of the things I'm doing, I source my money. There is no money in Ministry of Women Affairs. We are underfunded. That is one of the things they are owing. But
Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele.
Did you see how she quickly switched? There is 1.5 billion that was released. She collected that, diverted the money. And when she was asked, she said, okay, I did not write the budget. I only followed what was in the budget. Alaye, yes or no? Did you receive 1.5 billion naira that was supposed to be used, I mean, that was meant for the payment of all these contractors? Yes or no? No, you cannot ask me to say yes or no, because what I'm saying is that I did not write this budget. I met the budget and I followed. Okay. Did you receive the money? But I followed the budget. That is exactly what caused that shouting match there. And there she was like, there is no money in the Ministry of Women Affairs. How much is 1-point-something for fuel? All of us know what the cost of things are in Nigeria now. So how much is 1-point-something million? There is no money in the Ministry of Women Affairs. I had to source the money. I had to beg people to give me. That's why I used my money to buy them keke. Now she is running a charity. And that's a ministry that's over 60 billion naira has been mismanaged in the last 2 years alone. And part of that, she's been about 10 months into that herself. But she's running a charity. On one occasion, she was asked to actually list, at least you saw her with list in that video, because that one was just a few days ago, about a week or 2 ago, right? She was with Ruben. And they were asking, you said you have done this, done that. Thousands of children. There's 3 geopolitical zones, 6 states. Like they always do. Tell us all those places. It was a hell of a fight.
I want you to identify those 6 states that we referred to in the introduction. Those 6 states where, you have the pilot programs. If you could just list them so that we can move on.
The 6 states are, yes, I will mention but few because I don't really know all of it. Niger,
you don't know
Abia,
the 6 states where you're having the program?
I don't know all of. No, listen to me, my dear brother, please. The 6 states now is not the issue to me. The issue to me is all the states. That is what I'm focusing on. I can't go and start focusing on the 6 states when the money coming can go around all the states, including FCT. And that's
Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele.
I told you. They're asking you a question about, you said you are doing some women empowerment with the money that they're asking you, what have you done with the money? When the money is meant for are not receiving it. So she said she is currently working in 6 states. And they said, okay, what states? Can you name those 6 states? And she was like, Kano, Yobe. See, I can't really tell you all the states because the money that we are talking about, when I know that this money can go around all of the states in Nigeria. So I'm focusing on all the states in Nigeria. What are you, who are these people? Huh? Here is what that woman that engaged in the House Committee investigation about all these billions you are hearing, and as they are disappearing. Here's what she had to say.
It's been reported that the Minister of Women Affairs, Honorable Mr. Uju Kennedy, is being investigated over an alleged 510 million naira procurement fraud. Now, I believe as the chairman of the House Committee on Women Affairs, you are involved in this investigation. I was asking if you'd be able to enlighten us more. It's been reported that there have been multiple petitions against her, both from her staff, the ministry, and from contractors.
Thank you very much for this question as well. I think the Minister of Women Affairs, Barrister Uju Kennedy, is being investigated by the Public Procurement Committee already. We, as a Committee of Women Affairs and Social Development, supervising her ministry, we have also, done an invitation to invite her to the committee to listen to her. But because the Public Procurement is currently investigating her, she was supposed to appear on Thursday, but it was postponed till Tuesday. There are so many petitions against her, but because we have not heard our own side of the story, we have not done the investigation, we have not heard from her, we want to wait until we get to the bottom, of this before I'm able to talk about it in public. But I'm very sure, I am 100% optimistic that definitely if she's found wanting, we will let Nigerians know. Because we are there for Nigerians, we are there because of Nigerians. If not for Nigerians, we cannot be where we are. And the best and all that we owe Nigerians is to report to them as it is and exactly as it is. So we'll definitely let you know the outcome of that investigation. It will be on Tuesday by Public Procurement Committee. And of course, the House Committee on Women Affairs, we have had several petitions as well. And I've tried, to call her to ask her about these things. But definitely, she will be appearing before the committee to explain to us. While we did our oversight the last time we went to the Ministry of Women Affairs, we had issues concerning, their records, the misappropriation of funds, and the way they were, using different analogy, different names for the same purpose,
It's been reported.
You get that? Using SPV, duplicating projects, and reduplicating or triplicating projects so that they can, the same project, so they can get paid like 3-4 times on the single project, even though it won't even be done. Well, that is for those who are investigating her. As we speak, she is expecting a $500 million. And guess what the money is meant for? Women empowerment. Would you?
$1 loan advance from the World Bank, and it is for women empowerment. I know that's your project about a Nigeria for Women project, and they're trying to repurpose all of that. So on that particular loan, straight questions, and if you forget any, I'm going to remind you. Has the money been released from the World Bank to Nigeria?
No.
No, just hold on. I'm going to take a. Okay, it's not been released. What? I didn't get what you said.
The money has been activated but not released.
Okay, it's been activated. And so...
I got a letter that it has been activated but not released yet.
Okay, so how soon should we be expecting it?
I wouldn't know how soon because it's not within my own purview to know how soon. It's only within me to sign when I'm asked to. It's from Ministry of Finance.
Okay, so I know that it was initially 150 million. Was that initially released, or this is another money altogether? Just help me out here.
No, it was initially 100 million.
100 million, yeah.
Not 150.
100 million. Was that released as well? Or they just upgraded it?
Yes, it was released for the past few years, and I think they've closely exhausted that.
But I know that there are conversations about restructuring the entire Ministry of Women Affairs so that it doesn't look like a form of tokenism and charity case to something of more of sustainable, scalable investment. I would like you to speak to that as far as this $500 million that is coming is concerned.
Because of President's concern towards women and children and Nigeria as a nation, he mentioned when he came in that we should allow the poor to breathe, we shouldn't suffocate the poor. So based on that, he signed a memo to that effect, that the loan can only be released when it is restructured. So Nigerians should be rest assured that's exactly what will happen. And the restructuring, it means let the whole money be used for what it's supposed to be used for, which is projects on women to get them out of poverty, change their lives. Because we're over 70% women and children of Nigeria. So because of his concern, he's really interested to be sure that money is well used. And knowing the Minister for Finance, you know, he's a very reliable person when it comes to anything the president wants. So I'm sure he will definitely restructure it. Nigerians shouldn't worry themselves.
$1
Turn the so-called Yahoo boys to experts in manufacturing and creation of chips that intercept and all. Turn the so-called Yahoo boys to experts in manufacturing and creation of chips that intercept and all.
Yeah, did you hear that? Now Edo people, Agba Yahoo was promising the Yongi Yahoos. Agba Yahoo was promising these younger Yahoos that when he become their president, he was going to convert them into experts in making all these chiefs and I missed that part. You can't really quote Tinubu, can you?
Let be poor, breathe. Don't suffocate them. We have that responsibility.
Let the poor breathe. But when you see the poor now, and you see the eyeballs of the poor, you will know that God, whatever this shege that is strangulating them, kò ní mercy rárá. Àwọn shege tí ò ní mercy. When you see the people that Nigeria has happened to economically, if somebody hold your neck like this, and press am, trying to suffocate you, can't realize say your eyeball won't come out from the socket. Even pity can make them drop their hand and say, if I continue pressing, this your eyeballs will fit pop out. You know that kind where person where they strangulate you, can't they get mercy? The kind shake that is holding you is not visible. My late great grandmother would say, what is she would say that jokingly, that what was shagging everyone is not really showing the break. You know that kind of thing. When the economy begin to ram you and ram you and ram you with no mercy, that's exactly what these guys are doing. They are forcefully economically raping you. And that is why if you see the affected people in Nigeria, I don't think they are breathing. They are suffocating. And you can just imagine that in your head. Something is strangulating you and then your eyeballs, you are not dead, right? Normally, after a few seconds, you're just going to be like, oh, I give up. They can't shake it. When they face Nigerians, they kill them at once. There are people that somehow, they are not happy with the prayer of long life, and Lord, may you live long. Because in Yoruba land, there is something